All right, we are back. We're going to jump into power rankings this week. Try to keep this guy in line for this segment. We got some little bit of a shake up, a little bit of a surprise, but the top two spots, even after the big showdown and Scott losing, I felt like the second highest scoring team in the league pretty much validated exactly the number two spot. But I feel like it's exactly what we said it was going to be, where it was going to be a double digit win for Braden. It was. Scott showed why he's the number two team in our power rankings, and that stayed the same for me. I think that's across the board.
Across the board.
So where we start finding our differences this week is from 3 and on, and it's not a big difference, but we do have a little bit of differences. So we'll start out with Donnie. What you got here on the 3 spot?
I got Big Fish. I mean, he's been putting up some numbers and some wins here and there and everything, but he stays up there in that top 5, and I've got him at the 3 spot.
This is going to be one of my changes from week to week, where even after Short Bus outscores Dan in last week's game, I am actually going to make the move, and I'm going to move Dan up to the 3 spot and drop Short Bus to the 4 spot. And I'm not looking so much at the score last week. What I'm looking at is the way I feel like Dan has shaped his roster to move into the playoffs. Some of the insurance policies he's put on that bench. We're sitting here watching the Thursday night game.
And
Henderson's already scored.
Just scored a second touchdown.
See, I've talked about in this episode already before that game started, and it is proven again why I'm putting Dan in the 3 spot. Where are you at, Jason?
I'm actually taking. I've had Big Fish ahead of me, but with me scoring more than him here recently, I put myself back ahead of him. And it's just basically on points.
Yeah, and I mean
it's gonna go back and forth between me and him.
It really is
the rest of the season.
I can see that being the case because you guys do seem to be kind of right there, neck and neck, kind of tied together.
And you guys are in the same division, is that right? Yep. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I agree.
It'll sort itself out.
Yeah, and if you can pick up that second win against him, that's going to kind of seal the deal.
Right. I mean, I really do believe you two are going to come out that division, both in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's neck and neck with you two.
Yeah, 3 and 4 still in the playoffs, and so that kind of brings us to the 5th position. And this is where we got changes across the board, but it's unanimous. And with our special guest, why don't you tell us where you're at on this one?
You know, I've been in that 6, 7, 5. I really feel like I'm moving up, and that's why I have myself in the 5. I really Big Fish. That was a big win against Big Fish. Big Fish is still up there. Can't call my team as good as the man next to me here, Short Bus.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm moving up. I mean, I really think 5th is where I really think I'm at.
Yeah, and I've got you in that 5th, and this is something we've talked about several times this year. I have really liked the Jacobs move.
Mm-hmm.
And then if Saquon ends up coming back, I think you're that team that's now creeping up. Now, a receiver, we've talked about Zay Flower. We talked about it a little bit tonight, just off camera. But I think once you went and got McConkey earlier in the season, that's made up for some of that.
A big pickup.
And if you can get something going on with that quarterback.
Hey, Zay Flowers, Hurts is out there.
So this is, again, part of this pick. It's unanimous, and I got bedtime here too. And this is kind of one of those where I think he jumps 2 or 3 positions for me on this
7th, I think,
which is pretty big for me. I don't tend to go too much on the moving. Just to play devil's advocate here, I do worry about your quarterback position. I know that's something you're worried about. I have a feeling this is not going to be the quarterback that you finish the season with.
No.
So I'm going to kind of let that.
I mean, obviously you're not going to get a top 5, top 6 quarterback, but if you can even just get a 10th best or 12th best quarterback.
I mean, I think JJ
that's a lot right now for you.
I mean, they're saying Daniel's going to be out for at least 4 weeks.
Well, one thing.
So, Marcus has had 1 bad game out of the 3 games that he's played.
Yeah. Well, one thing that kind
of, if I get something out of him,
jumped off the page to me this week on our waiver wire was Jettis, Justin Jefferson's masterclass, quietly added Joe Burrow off the bench.
And he's practicing.
Exactly. But here's the thing. He's picking him up for next year, I think.
No.
I think he's going to be one of his. I don't think
he's practicing.
He's not going to. I don't think JJ's going to make the playoffs.
Well, I'm saying.
And the only reason why I think he's picking him up is for next year.
I think you're
He's
missing
going to
the
be one
point.
of his keepers.
This is not about JJ. This is about bedtime.
What about bedtime?
Why didn't
You're
you pick
looking
him
for a
up?
quarterback, and
Why
Joe
didn't you
Burrow
pick
just
him
got
up?
picked up off the waiver wire 2 days ago.
I don't want Joe Burrow.
My goodness, you
He's
want
coming-
Marcus
he's gonna be
Mariota
coming
or
off an
JJ
injury.
McCarthy?
He's going to be coming off an injury. He's going to be worried about what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make a move
Drop
here.
him down the list.
Don't do it. Keep moving his ass.
Now, let's
up.
move into 6 now.
No kidding. Speaking of
I've
six,
got-
let's move on.
I've got-
Joe
the motor-
Burrow.
I've got the motors moving up here, and only because you just find a way.
He does. He really does. He's had a
It is that
bad.
team that's just finding a way.
He's had a bad roster due to
It's- I
injuries
mean-
and this and that.
Dude, quit saying it. Dude, I've not built a good roster. It ain't
I
just
said
injuries.
you had a bad because of
but
injuries.
we said earlier, you only have to win by 1,
Exactly.
and you're finding a way to win by at least 1.
I mean, I guess. You
You've
know,
had your good
it's-
wins. You've had your bad losses.
It's kind of funny because you guys moved me up. I didn't. I didn't move myself into
I
six
mean-
spot. I'm leaving. I'm putting JJ's there. That drops him from 5 to 6 for me with bedtime jumping him. I couldn't do it. I think
Well,
my team is a little too inconsistent.
and I bring JJ's in at 7 because that running back 2 is still not figured out. He's got Corum in his lineup this week. Gainwell sitting out there. Pacheco, if Pacheco comes back and can be solid, maybe, but he still has that big hole.
But
I mean, that's almost a 0 in that.
and
slot.
that's a big hole in crucial weeks. You know, because like you just said,
if he gets 6
if
points
with
out of that,
Pacheco-
he's happy.
yeah,
and that's
if
not enough.
with Pacheco,
But does-
if Pacheco comes back, could be too late. For
It could be
JJ.
too late.
but does Sam Darnold step into that role of Allen?
Hit Darnold and Bijan, if you look at their numbers and you look at Allen and Swift's numbers and you compare it like that,
Exactly.
that's about as even as it gets.
Right. I
And
get
then you
what
got the
you're saying.
kicker, and then there's a kicker there too, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a third player? DJ Moore or not?
Yeah,
Sutton.
It was
There was a-
Sutton.
Sutton.
So,
Gordon
So then
Sutton.
you throw that one in there. You know what I mean? So the numbers are going to favor. I think.
well,
it was-
because of it's a 3 for 2.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
So the numbers are going to favor him. But when I'm talking about just the quarterback running back thing, I think that was a wash.
yeah,
I got you over JJ. So I mean,
I just think having
You're-
a guy
you're-
that might score 5 points as your running back too is going to cost you more games than you're going to win.
agreed. I really think it was a bad trade. Not because JJ had reached out to me and me and JJ had a trade going.
Well, so does
You
me
know,
and
I'm
JJ.
not.
Just so you know, so did me and JJ.
Huh?
Me and JJ's had a trade going.
You have?
Yes. And
Well,
it's a better trade than what you had.
it probably was. I mean, this guy's done it twice to me this year. Hey, man, how about this? How about this?
Hey, what he's
Don't
doing, he's playing the game.
He's
He's
playing
getting
the
all of his
freaking-
options out there.
It got my hopes up.
I've got this on the slate.
so it's like Donnie has JJ
left-
No,
down
no,
in
no.
the 7th spot because he's butt hurt.
He
No, I'm
leveraged-
really not. Really not.
He
The only
leveraged
thing-
you to make a better move in your butt hurt.
No, I'm really
What I
not.
heard.
I'm really not. What I'm saying is the reason why I put him down into 7 is because I don't think he bettered his team in that trade.
And I think we could have no.
I think he addressed a glaring weakness, and he felt like he could compensate the downgrade in the quarterback.
And that team needed a mix up because what he had wasn't working.
Well, I'm telling you right now, both of those teams were running right into
They
the
both needed a
right
mix-up.
into the gutter. They
Watch
both
this.
needed
I'm
a
gonna
shot
mark
at
it up.
Jalen.
JJ does not make playoffs.
Wow, you heard it here first. I think he's wrong.
If you didn't hear us talk about you,
You suck.
sorry. See you guys next week.
Have a good one.
This week we'll be focusing on the previews for the upcoming Week 11 games. First game on the list is going to be Short Bus versus I Know Ball. Jason, why don't you kick that one off for us?
I actually am going to take myself on this one just because JT's out. And I know that's a huge part of his team. I think I actually got lucky to play him at the right time. I'm taking myself on that one.
You know, I'm gonna ride the trust factor with I Know Ball right now. And again, I know JT's done what JT's done, but I mean Braden did still score 140 additional points last week without JT's 60. So it's not like he's got a bunch of scrubs sitting there. I agree. His running back room is a little suspect at best right now.
Well, with White in there, you don't know if Bucky's practicing. If he ends up playing, does that hurt him?
He's actually not housed. He doesn't have White
Oh, you
in.
got him out?
Yeah, he's actually playing Vidal. So I think that's, this could be a situation where he's looking at last week's numbers and sees that glaring 25 carries. I don't know if that's a trap or not, because as you and I talked, we know that was kind of a game where the situation dictated how those carries happened.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting to see if he is a volume guy again this week to be able to kind of warrant that move. But again, I'm just going to kind of go on a hunch here and trust the body of work that Braden's laid out in front of us, especially over the last few weeks. He's finding a way. It's not just Jonathan Taylor. He's got number ones and twos on up and down that list.
He does have a lot of them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ride that out, and I'm gonna say Island's gonna get this win.
I want Short Bus to win. I really do. Braden's in my division.
Yeah.
My thing with Braden is, I question Higgins over Brown. Brown had a bad week last week.
Well, just to put it in perspective real fast before you go on too much further, because I don't want you sticking your foot too far in your mouth, but T. Higgins
I love
is 17 places ahead of AJ Brown in fantasy rankings.
I agree, but
Yeah.
I still question that
T.
in the
Higgins
flex
gets volume and results.
with
I don't care. I don't think it matters who plays quarterback.
And well, obviously it doesn't. Flacco comes in and actually they got better.
Higgins goes up.
Mhm.
So
I mean, Jamar Chase is number 2. That team is Chase Brown. I talked about last week is up into up in top 15.
I agree.
right?
I
The
agree
team
with you.
is
I have
not
Chase
as
Brown
bad
on
as
another
they
team.
are portrayed to be. So I don't disagree with the T. Higgins move here over AJ Brown. I don't know that I would play AJ Brown. If I had AJ Brown, I don't know if I'd play him one fucking game.
I
the rest of
believe
the
he
year.
was trying
But
to
he's
shop
been
it
every other week.
Wouldn't do
Every
it.
other week he's been
Finally learned
that
from him.
guy.
Yeah.
I got you, Jason, on this one.
Next one up is Bedtime versus the Battle. I think Battle didn't get any better off that trade.
This is our first time to actually sit. We needed
Okay.
we needed to trade the process so we could see how it would actually impact the rosters when you could actually look at them. With the move made. I agree with what you're saying. I think he may have gotten whatever it is he's looking for out of this. I don't quite know what that is. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? But I think what it does is now it just causes a ripple effect problem for Battlebuster, where now he's trading one problem for another.
Well, I think what he's into, and obviously he made the trade before last week, the loss, and where he's kind of split more out of it. But I think he's in next year mode, and when you trade out Bajan, I think that was a bad one.
Agreed.
Now, this is hindsight the week later when he made that move, he just still kind of somewhat had a chance.
I mean, I still only have him at 6 losses. It just seems weird to be bailing on a season. I can't.
Well, 6
buy.
losses in this league right now, you're out.
I mean, with 4 weeks to go, it's tough.
I mean,
I
he's
do-
got a big hill to climb.
Yeah, and I mean, I see what you're saying, but all things kind of equal here, with the way that shakes out this week, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm gonna have to pick Bedtime.
As much as I want to take Battle since you're here, I gotta go with Bedtime.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
just doing it because I'm here, guys.
I mean, we're gonna give you a hard time.
look at last week. They picked against me.
But I mean, honestly,
They love me, but they hate me.
But you make us look better.
I know, right?
The problem is, I think what bothers me about your team sometimes is that you have to look at the quarterback, the first name you see when you're looking at a person's
That does
roster.
kind of make it.
So it's like a bad taste in your mouth from the jump. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a Josh Jacobs fan, but I'm not going to deny what he's doing this year, and he's having a great season. With that trifecta you built with Barkley, Jacobs, and Javonte Williams in the season he's having, which is a surprise to most of
Right.
everyone.
It really is.
And then some other things that I've talked about with Stephon Diggs being top 20, Lad McConkey being top 12. That's a pretty
And now you
formidable
don't have
lineup.
to rely on Zay.
And it kind of helps hide the quarterback woes there. I think it's enough to get a win this week.
As long as your quarterback can be average, I think you got it.
This is the best lineup I think you put out, with the exception of your quarterback, all year.
I appreciate that. I think I will get this one by about 7 or 8 points. I know it says more, but I think it's only going to be about 7 or 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, I see this as being actually pretty close, single digits for sure. And probably, I bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this as being one of those under 120 games around the 112 wins.
108,
Yeah.
112.
Yeah, I think it's something
I
like
agree.
that.
I
But
agree.
just a good hard fought win and one of those where you're just looking for the win, not the points this week.
Exactly.
And I think both of you are in the same boat. I think that's just where we're at.
All right, next one up's the Motor Boaters versus Lady Boy there, Twin Bowers.
Yeah, this one's tough, man, because I love nothing more than to sit here week in and week out and pick Twin Bowers to win every
That ain't
week.
no lie.
God, jeez.
Let you down last week.
He did. You know what? And just for that, I'm picking myself. Let's go, Motorboaters.
I love it. I love it. Jay, who you got?
I'm taking Twin Bowers on this one, only because I'm expected to. But I mean, you're scratching and clawing, you're putting stuff together. I mean, I got you higher in the power rankings.
I don't think it's by far.
But it's one of those things. I watch it and it's like, okay, he did that. That worked.
Well, so if I can interject for just a second, and I think this can maybe explain how the power rankings are what they are. I feel like we're getting to the point in the season where the record has to make a
Well, it
difference.
does at this point where you're
And the
talking
fact that I'm
about.
sitting at 6 wins and he's already, he's at 500 and he's kind of borderline.
Yeah.
He's third in his division. I think that has to weigh in on the factor of why his power. I have a better playoff route than he does.
Right.
And I think that's got to play into account.
I agree. I
So
agree.
yeah, I'm gonna take him this week, just to keep the league interesting because why not?
Well, I mean, I'm looking down the lineups right now. You got Herbert. I always look at quarterbacks, then I look at running backs. Running backs could be receivers also, in my eyes. Look at my team, look at your team. But Herbert over Nix is where I feel like it's going to come down to. Looking over it. It ain't the flex, it ain't the wide receivers, it ain't the running backs. It's going to come down to them two quarterbacks. Who's going to have the better game? Who's Bo Nix playing?
It's Kansas City. And so that kind of brings me to the point. And that's one thing that I think gets overlooked a lot. Division games always turn out to be good games.
Exactly.
And Kansas City, if you watch a lot of their games, they fall behind pretty big early. They come storming back. Is that enough for Bo Nix right there?
One thing that worries me about Bo Nix and the fact that I'm playing against him this week is he's only scored single digits twice this entire season. Once was last week, and the other one was week 1.
I know.
So this is an outlier.
Yeah.
This is not the norm. And I can couple that with the fact that outside of that, he's only been below 17 one other time. So he traditionally scores over 17 points. That means he's probably flirts with 20 more often than not. I feel like this is a bounce back game for him. I'm going to pick myself because I do like some of my matchups a little bit better. But I actually think if you look down the list, there's a couple little weird matchup issues with each of us. I just kind of think I'm going to get the better of him. But I think this is going to be close.
And I worry about Adams with that being in his back, non-contact. They said he probably could have came back if it mattered, but he could just be one step further and he's back down.
Yeah, and I'm actually like, I don't know why, I just have a feeling this is a week where Jordan Addison flexes his muscles a little bit.
That's good because he ain't done it yet.
So with
He's
all that
first
being
week back,
said-
he did a little bit.
Okay.
With all that being said, I talk about Bo Nix and Herbert is what's going to come down to my pick on this. I don't think Kansas City's defense is as good as Jacksonville's defense. So my pick's going to go with Twin Bowers. Only because of that reason. And I can't stand you sometimes, and that's why I'm picking your little boy.
Moving on.
All right, well, we got Big Fish versus
Love it.
Mark's Monstrosity.
Monstrosities is
Yeah,
your
we
name.
renamed his ass. Mark's Monstrosity it is. I might even get in there and override on the website.
Yeah.
Catch me on a bad
He'd
day.
never notice.
Right. Just a little side note here. This game is already underway with a couple important players that are involved in this game right now. I'm not going to let that affect my outlook on the
It's not
game
going to affect
because
anybody.
we all have the same outlook, I'm pretty sure, which is going to be Big Fish.
Big Fish.
all the way.
I mean, he's leading the game with one player, right? And Mark has two players playing.
And besides that, Mark's got Mark's roster and Dan's got Dan's roster.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, he's built it. He's built it a lot better than it was, 6 weeks ago. But is it enough to hang with with the guys we talk about in the power rankings? No.
I mean,
He
Not
played
at all.
the
earlier
he played
today,
the-
I talked about all the guys that Mark has had on his team, and the majority of those guys are no longer on his team.
Well, I mean, you look at it though. You talk about he needs to start Drake more.
Well, he
You
got
know?
to this week.
Well, here's the thing. The Jets just shipped their best cornerback off to the Indianapolis Colts, right? So you think Drake's going to throw that ball? Who's scoring their touchdowns right now? The running back on the other team that you're playing against, Mark. My pick is going to be the big fish.
Big fish all the way.
Yep. It's unanimous. Sorry, Mark. I think, again, I talk about it every week. Well, not every week, but these last couple of weeks. I actually think Mark's going to be a lot better next year. And I think
I
it's
agree.
a great learning year for him.
Yeah.
I think he's done. I think actually the bad moves he's made is actually what's teaching him how to play. So I actually think it's going to be beneficial.
Well, I personally believe the videos help
They really do.
a guy like that.
I don't know, dude. I don't even know if anybody watches.
I just know, I mean, listen, the knowledge you get each week from these videos, you don't get anywhere else.
I'm telling you, dude, we got a
I mean,
special
this
skill
is
set.
premium content.
Professionals. Professionals.
All right, moving on. So we got Warden and Johnson.
Yeah, Ward and Johnson. This is kind of one of those. Again, I mean, it's like,
Is this Team Johnson's?
Yeah.
Johnson.
yeah,
I mean, he's got a really good team. He really does. If you stop and look at it, if he plays the right players at the right time. against the right
we had
teams.
talked about that week in and week out about how good he is, and then all of a sudden I start kind of doing an overview on
Yeah,
his
it's
roster
like-
yesterday, and I about fell over
Well-
on how bad his running back room all of a sudden is.
Well,
Yeah.
not only
With the
that
injury to
is,
J.K. Dobbins, it's like there's nothing
Exactly.
left.
well,
I
not only
mean-
that is when we talked about his team being better, we were talking Pittman putting up
Yeah,
number one receiver number.
Yeah.
Where's that dude?
Yeah.
I mean, who actually is the number one receiver on that team right now?
I mean, Dobbins
He's got
was on
Drake
my
London.
team and putting up good numbers.
And
At the
Drake
beginning of the
London's
year,
been the
and I
one
traded
bright
him
spot
off.
that he's had this year.
right. Not
Yeah.
bright spot. After a bad game with Michael Pittman, dude's still sitting in the 8th position.
Is he?
Yes.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah, he is a beast.
He
this
is in
year.
the top
That's-
10.
Now that's going to
receiving.
drop a little bit because he goes into his bye week this
Yeah, and
week,
everybody
so he's
else
probably going to
already
end up
got-
about 10 or 12.
Yeah,
But
because Lad will move up.
he is having a true, actual number one season
Is he?
as a as a team's number one receiver.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, he's got 70 targets and 54 catches. So on the flip side, and while we do agree that Alec Pierce is having a good game or a good season, 52 targets, only 28 receptions.
Well,
And-
I mean, he's only had one touchdown. He's only had like 2-3 good games. It's just all been the past few weeks.
But did we hear what I said on Pittman's yardage? All right. 54 catches, 580 yards
for Pittman.
for Pittman. It's kind of a funny little, and it goes to the trivia thing we did earlier, actually. But Alec Pierce, 28 catches, 585 yards.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Almost double the catches to have the same amount of yards.
Exactly.
Addition. So what you're seeing is where Pittman is scoring a lot of his points is in the reception.
Correct.
But if you really look, Pierce, that was his first touchdown.
Yeah, it is. And that's why he's 38 in fantasy.
And I think at one point he was hurt this year.
And what's Pittman like? Four touchdowns on the season right now.
Actually,
Six?
6. I think why I wanted to kind of talk about that for a second is just the fact that after a bad week, it's easy to feel like it's just the same old thing with Pittman. And I wanted to give him his kudos for at least having a pretty solid start to this point of the, a full work of a season. He's been pretty
Agreed.
solid.
Agreed.
So that's
But-
what I got there.
I'm definitely going with Warden here, though. I think he's just putting up too many points right
Yeah, I mean, we found a reason to talk about Johnson long enough. It's Warden all the way.
I agree.
now.
I agree.
One
Johnson,
left.
Maybe next year.
One left. JJ's. What does that say?
JJ's and beats.
Beats.
Yeah. This is going to be kind of a little interesting one because So I'm gonna do the unthinkable here, and for a guy who never wants to play fantasy football, if it's not Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night, Tim and Beats by Ray, who actually has a pretty good roster when you start to look at the number. We just went down the whole entire roster off camera, dude. It's actually pretty solid.
Yes, it really
And
If
is.
you played that roster, you'd be in the
And
playoffs.
he's picked to do very well this week.
Yeah. And I'm gonna piggyback that, and I'm gonna take Beats on the upset, all but eliminating. No, not eliminating. He's only got 4 losses, so he can stand a loss here. I'm going Beats by Ray here.
Can he really?
I actually think, yeah, he's only got 4 losses. I actually got Beats by Ray double digits.
Now, before I jump on this, is Bijan out this week on a bye?
No. Carolina.
Atlanta's already had.
I'm
their
taking
bye.
Beats.
Atlanta's
Carolina's
already,
defense is tough.
Atlanta's already had their bye.
Mhm.
I just didn't know coming back from overseas, those guys take their bye now.
They-
Right.
the
Like the
NFL
Colts
usually
are,
tries to do
yes,
that,
yes,
yes.
yes. But I think Atlanta had their
But
bye.
yeah, if
2
they're
weeks
going up
beforehand.
against a tight defense like that, I will go towards Beats on this one. I think he's got some good matchups this week. His roster is actually
Is it
pretty good.
because-
And that's what I say. Even when you look at Beats' this week, I can't comment on the leading up weeks because I just haven't dived into his roster that much. But if you look at his roster right now, I feel like you could just plug and play whatever you want on the bench or in the starting lineup, and he wins this game. I don't think there's a player
I
on this
agree.
bench you couldn't plug in there.
I agree.
Well, I mean, I think he needs to leave a Dunze in there because he's a better.
He did have a 0 2 weeks ago. I got Beats. You got Beats.
I definitely have Beats. You already know.
Wow,
that.
that's 3 upsets in a row. That must be the upset special. Guys, that's our picks this week. Hope you enjoyed Donnie kind of sitting in with us. A little offbeat, but you know what? We like the difference, variety, having some special guests, doing things different each and every week because I'm nothing worse than getting stuck in the mud doing the same thing over and over. So while we try to do the same thing, we try to add something a little different each and every week. I appreciate Donnie for taking the time. We'll give him a minute to talk to you guys, kind of tell you what he's about, and then we'll let Jason close out the show.
Hey, you know what? I love fantasy football. I love these 2 guys. Brandon's been a part of my life since Braden and Drew's been 5 years old. Jason, great guy. Love them both. Jason and Brandon's done a lot of umpiring for me. I learned a lot of baseball from him. This guy right here learned a hell of a lot of baseball from him. Football, I can't learn shit from him.
He doesn't watch the shows, is what he's saying, guys.
I watch them every week. But anyways, some things they really touch on. You guys should listen to them on some of these games. Some of them they're just like, it's the alcohol talking. But anyways, I want to give a shout out real quick to the Decatur Central Hawks winning sectionals. I mean,
6A sections.
6A, moving up from 5A to 6A. With that being said, the owner at my place where I work at, Indiana Steel Fabricating, I got a lot of co-workers that watch this show. Trying to get the owners to subscribe to it too. You guys do a really good job. But anyways,
guys, we'll get the lives going.
he's a Brownsburg fan. His son goes to Brownsburg. Decatur plays Brownsburg at Decatur this Friday night. So we got a bottle of bourbon on the line. So go DC, Donnie Coffee, Decatur Central. It runs together. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys having me on. Want to be back again. Please allow me to come back again if my old ass can stay up long enough.
I tell you what, we reached 70 views on this video. You're in.
I love you guys.
Hey, we appreciate you pushing bedtime back a little bit and hanging out with us tonight.
I know I'm gonna be in trouble with my wife.
I
man.
just hope you make it home without falling asleep.
You guys talk about Dan, and his wife makes the real decisions. I'm gonna be in real deep shit for being up and out this late, but
Yeah,
those are
but
great guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys again. Drew, good dub in week 7.
hey, good thing is, wife's got a video proof of where you've been all night. So You can't be accused in your own.
I don't
court.
need proof for shit. I ain't going nowhere. Ain't doing
Nah,
nothing.
I'm just playing.
That's what we're
No,
at.
yep, we're out here, guys. One
Except
last
for
thing,
drinking.
I do want to kind of touch on the fact that Donnie, giving a little bit of appreciation to Decatur Central this weekend. That'll be kind of fun and exciting. I do hope you have a bottle of bourbon on hand because it's not going to go as well as we'd like it to go.
Oh, you
Playing
know
one of the best
what?
teams in the country
That
this
is
week.
true. That is true. You know,
But
Just
just
some cheap bourbon.
yeah, just to be there though, it is a
Benchmark it.
is a pretty special feat in itself because stepping up with the big boys. So anyway, hats off to them. Hats off to you guys. Hey, guys, give us some feedback. I appreciate the group chat kind of piping up a little bit last night. It was fun to have just some general conversation. And that's what we're looking for. If you guys want to talk about the league or some things that we could do, we would love to hear any kind of feedback. But hey, just having general football talk because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm sitting around at home, nobody really wants to sit around and talk about NFL football. So we got a place to do it Wednesday nights, guys. We have it.
hey, again, to these guys, hats off. Love you guys. Thanks again.
Good luck. See y'all next week.
Go Bears.
Thank you, Scott.